Today I'm going to tell you the story of a man with conviction, a man with purpose, a man who recognizes the world around him. In the wasteland, the standards between good and bad are not like the ones you know today. The bombs of the Great War had reverted man a few thousand years, and so did its customs. Sometimes the actions of the post-war world would be deemed selfish by the pre-war world. But you'd have to understand, the term survival between both timelines meant something completely different. Survival in your corporate job at Robco had nothing to do with scavenging for ammo, finding a safe place to camp for the night, risking being eaten alive by ghouls just to secure your next meal. No, sir. Think of it like prison. You either go it alone and keep one eye open at night, or find a group you later call blood brothers. Your choice. But let's call Cage a hybrid. Someone who lived both lives and floats in limbo, trying to find himself. Ain't that all of us in some regard?
Three bullseyes in a row, huh? Either Laser RCW was made for you, or you're the biggest bullshitter in this fold. Alright, I'll see you. Oh, you're shitting me, right? Good old Cage. Nah, who are you really?
You recognize the armor. That not enough for you?
Nah, too easy. Only way it's you under that helmet is if you killed my friend and took it as a trophy.
I don't show any skin to just any old vagrant. You know that.
There he is. You really had me thinking someone stretched you out there. How the heck are you? What are you doing back from the trenches so early?
What? You think a rich little rat like that's too fast for me?
Oh, on the contrary, my friend. It's the rich ones that scurry the fastest. Seen it too many times. So what? You blink 'em?
Right between the eyes. You don't cross the Van Graffs like that. Fact of life.
Yeah. Well, it's good to see you. I gotta admit it's become a bit dull with all these young wannabes lining up in my booth, trying to jabber like they saw something.
Well, you know. They either see something and shut up from there, or death shuts them up.
I missed this. Right here. Seems like all the old gang just sort of split up or hadn't returned. You know, real talk.
Don't get too sentimental, my guy. You'll lose that nerve.
You're right. So you just come by to say hi? Or you already on another contract?
A refill is all. One case of 5.56s will do me.
Right away.
But, yeah. I could have me a little side work on the way, come to think of it.
Oh, yeah? Well, come on, don't leave me out of the dirty if it ain't a contract.
Don't know yet. Was real mysterious. Some chick took over my signal out there, requesting I come and see her here, actually.
Here? Wait a minute. Yeah, this is starting to make more sense now.
What is it?
See her? The ponytail dame over there.
Ah, I see. Is that her, you think?
Hell yeah! I see a lot of folks coming here, but, you know, they don't stick around with all the fumes all up in their lungs. But this girl came in for a smoke the other day and just sort of posted up on the wall ever since.
Really?
Yeah, and I didn't get this dame's angle up until now. How she knows you buy from here is beyond me, but I didn't say nothing. Asked her if she needed anything a few times, but just got cold nose from her. So I left it alone.
Very odd indeed. If we're correct, that would be Miss Red. She dresses pretty smart for a place like this, don't you think?
I'd watch out for this one, Cage. She's got trouble written all over those eyes. What did she say she wanted?
Don't know yet. Only that she had a job for me. You got a room for us to chat alone?
Yeah, down the hall to the right.
Thanks, Mikey.
Don't get into anything you'll regret, Cage.
You know me, Mikey. I'm light on my feet in this heavy armor. Can I assume you're Lady Red?
Ah, Mr. Cage. Yes. But just Red will do fine.
You went out on a limb to break through my broadcast. This must be an important task you have for me.
Yes, it is.
However, you'll need to color me suspicious, accounting for the fact that you knew where I was, and tech exclusive enough to reach me.
Yes, you'll have to forgive me for being so intrusive. But I can assure you, the opportunity I have ready to present will put your suspicions to rest.
Uh-huh.
Are you busy at the moment?
I will be when you cut to the chase.
Listen to me, the job...
No, you listen, would you please?
Go ahead.
I've dealt with enough sales pitches in my life, lady, and frankly, I can see right through those snake eyes of yours to determine that you want someone with a soul gone. In that case, go ahead and tell me who and how.
Hey, you should get your vision checked then. Is there a place where we can talk in private?
Yeah, right this way.
We'll return to our story after this.
Do you love the Mass Effect series, and are you looking to learn even more about Mass Effect? The things that you didn't even know that you didn't know? Well, this is your host, Tom, or Robots, and me and my co-host N7 Legend do a show called the Mass Effect Lorecast. It is available on whatever podcatcher you're listening to this right now. We also do it live on twitch.tv/robotsradio, 10:30 Eastern, 7:30 Pacific on Sunday nights. So go look it up right now, the Mass Effect Lorecast. We'd love to have you join us.
And now, back to our story.
This room is pretty appropriate.
Yep, it's wherever the bigwigs from back before the war twiddled thumbs and smoked stogies, while the blue-collars broke their backs outside. Is that a foreshadow?
Isn't that the basis for your entire client-contractor business, Mr. Cage?
Nah, there's a sense of respect. It's actually ascended to the point where the client's more afraid of me than the fellow they have me fish for.
Well, maybe we can build on that. Because I'm not the creative director of this operation, so to speak.
Creative director.
I'm serious. Think of this as contractor to contractor.
Okay, Red. I'll give you a little time for the originality.
Good. This is good. Nothing's been written off yet. Just a pair of workers talking business. Nothing more.
Right. Nothing more. Now, before we go further, may I ask you a little bit about yourself? Since my trading card's in your pocket for some reason.
Of course. Although the only piece of intel I can't disclose is who my employers are. But I'm sure you've worked with partners in the past with similar stances.
Uh-huh. Okay, Red. Who are you? Where are you from?
Of course. For one, Red isn't a code name, if you can believe it. It was my favorite color as a kid, so that's what I named myself.
Go on.
Well, growing up as an immigrant orphan in North Texas wasn't all that encouraging. So the moment I scraped or stole enough caps to buy decent clothes, I moved to Plano, where it was a little safer, and found work as a caravan hand and secretary for most of my life. My current position wasn't obtained until recently.
Well, I have to say, it looks like you've been at this far longer than just recently. Whatever it is.
Thank you. You can call me an intelligence grabber, a spy, if you will.
Interesting. I've done my share of spy work.
No offense, but my spying isn't tracking much of what you're used to. My job usually requires me not to handle any killing. I'm a fly on the wall, not much more. But I can take care of myself if need be.
I can tell. That hand's been clutched to the burner since I approached you.
Keen eye. I can't be too trusting around here, you know that.
Sure, but next time, don't be so obvious about it.
Point taken. Shall we get started?
Waiting on you.
Before you open that folder, I'm gonna need you to hear me out and accept the job before I can trust you with anything further. Do we have a deal?
What's with all the secrecy? If you've got a picture of this John Doe, I can clip him before lunchtime. And this is coming from someone who only gets word-of-mouth descriptions.
He's high profile, not a petty criminal, that's why.
And?
The catch is, I'd rather you bring this person in alive. It's optional, but you'd be much better taken care of if that were the case.
I'm a tracker, miss. You got that part right. But I'm not a bounty hunter. You need me to take care of problems, not drag them back home. Do you know where you are?
I had no clue the Great Cage had such a one-track mind.
Well then, surprise. It's made me the money I have now.
Make an exception this time, then. After that, never do it again.
If I had a cap for every time someone said that to me.
Uh-huh. Maybe that's why you're still wading through the sands, plugging nobodies for spare scratch.
Maybe I like that routine. You ever think of that?
No. Apologies for offending. That's just not a very orthodox mindset.
Just let me open this file so we can get on with it.
Not until you agree.
Fine. I agree.
No, I need your word on this. The moment you open up that file and see his face, that seals it.
I'm not afraid of you.
It's not me you need to be afraid of.
This is the guy, huh? Not much content in the paperwork.
Because nobody knows all that much about him, besides some key details I can't disclose. I'm assuming you're not familiar.
Not at all, I must say.
Cunning, stealthy, and extremely dangerous. He was one of us for a short time before we cut him loose, but now we realize it was a mistake.
Really? You on bad terms with him?
Can't tell. That's why we want him taken care of before we can ask. You let him slither away again, he'll be on an entirely different coast. You pounce first, Cage. No talking. Save that for later.
Got any footprints?
All in there.
Turnaround time.
As long as he's breathing, take all the time you need. I'm aware this is a lot to ask for. That's why the compensation will be all the more worth it.
Where can I find you?
That's in there too. Not to worry. The way is paved for you there and back. It's the capture part that takes the legwork.
I feel like I'm gonna regret this, but fine. Looks like I'm in for a vacation.
Hey look, I can't provide provisions or anything, but your survival skills speak for themselves.
Not to worry. I'm low maintenance on just about everything. Just one thing, Red.
What's that?
A disclaimer. Don't fuck me. Because chances are, if I can hogtie this slink, I'll damn well do the same to you. It's, a little something I tell all my clients.
Noted. And mark down that if you tell anyone outside of us about this, we won't hogtie you. We'll kill you. Clear?
And loud.
Was good to meet you, Cage.
Likewise. Shall I see you out?
No, thanks. I'm gonna finish this smoke. Sir? Sir, are you in? Sir, it's me, Red. Yes, he accepted. It was a little tug-of-war there, but I think he saw the cap amount and did his 360 real quick. Understood. I'll keep watch.
What the hell happened in there?
Sorry, Mikey. It looks like we have a trade secret on our hands.
Yeah, she seemed the type. Whenever the paperwork dries up, get me in on the action, huh?
As always. I've got to get back to my place and pack. Looks like there's no need to dust off my boots.
Are you for real? You're not the type to go this far for a first-time client. What did this witch tell you?
She told me she's official enough to make it worth it. And this backs it up.
Good gracious, they're printing paper now. What game is she playing?
None by the look of it. I know how sometimes these wasteland corps try to pull the wool over your eyes, so I'd say she's Gunrunners, Van Graffs or something.
I've been around the block since before you were in diapers, Cage. And I ain't nary seen a sticky note when these folks conducted business. Then again, I've been behind this here booth for some 10-odd years. Who knows what's changed?
Well, Mikey, I best start hitting the sands if I want to get a head start on this.
Where you going?
West.
You don't have any friends out that way, do you?
Wouldn't exactly call them friends, but I have some. Remember Willie Burns?
Oh yeah, part of your old unit, correct?
That's right.
Well, what's he up to these days?
Hating me, hating life. You know the routine.
That sour taste never left his tongue now, did it?
Nope, he's a raider now. Has an outpost a few miles out. I'm pretty sure he'll let me crash there for the night.
Wow, if that ain't a fall from grace.
We're all fallen angels after what happened.
You really think that's safe?
He's got bitter feelings, sure, but the Bond'll keep his finger off the trigger. I'll be fine. It's just what else awaits me I need to worry about.
Keep a gun handy at all times, friend. And I ain't exactly talking about people. It's the damn shit the radiation spits out there. Just when I think I saw everything in my years, something even bigger and uglier crawls out of the ground.
No need to worry about me. I consider myself one of them.
Well, that's all she wrote for this one, partner. Looks like old Cage is on his way to visit his old pal from the Brotherhood before he sets out for his journey that'll take him to who knows where. Stick around for the next episode, War Stories, and see what happens when two old soldiers reunite after going two separate paths. Hold on there, partner. Before you hit that dusty trail now, be sure to rate this podcast wherever it is you're listening to in order to spread the word round the wasteland. Heck, or just send it directly to another Fallout fan. You know they'll like it, along with the many, many adventures of Walter and Bunny. The Cage Chronicles is written and produced by Preston Harden, edited and mixed by Ethan Walsh. Cage and Mikey were voiced by Mike Tyson, and Red was voiced by Mary Ann Stanek. Now, here's a real gaggle of cowpokes that deserve much due spotlight. Mike Gregory, Mike Tyson, yep, Cage himself, Oakley Wright, Michael D. Batkill, Joel Jekyll, Brian Snyder, the Donnie Difference, and Dan McCormick are our current posse of dear listener Patreon supporters, and boy do we thank them for their contributions. If you would like to have your name mentioned as well, be sure to visit patreon.com/ABombRadio and become a dear listener. Also find us at A-Bomb Radio on Twitter. Other things like our merch and Discord are available in this episode's description. I'm Forrest Lee, and we'll see you in the next one.
You've been listening to a Robots Radio podcast. Smart shows for interesting people. Check out all the shows at robotsradio.net.
Looking for an RPG podcast that isn't just D&D?
Roll to Cast is the answer.
No, wait, sorry. What games have we played so far?
Well, we've done Cyberpunk 2020.
What does it mean to have a voice?
And there's going to be something big coming, Chumba.
Hey, if you're listening, I won. I beat you. You suck.
There was a time when we were slamming things against our phones and
Vampire the Masquerade.
Chloe, Sam?
You can't use those words!
He's going to grab Vincent, press him against the wall.
I mesmerise him. This is Adelaide's Anarch move. Burst out of your chair. Your hand goes to your gun and you draw.
Hulk Cthulhu.
Told you I had it.
Oh, we've all got the quips going. I love it so much.
Right there. Screechy child. My favourite daughter.
Maybe after what we just seen, we're feeling a bit trigger happy.
And the new Cyberpunk Red. Babe, you're good, but we're better.
Thought maybe you might be able to give me a counter offer.
Straight through his neck.
I don't see bone either, but I'm not going to look. My leg's fine.
I always knew you wanted to fly, kid. Come find me.
Roll to Cast.
ROLE.
A new game every season.
Original music.
Original stories. Interviews with the creators.
And delightful Aussie accents.
Listen to us on all good podcatchers.
You can support us on Patreon for bonus content.
That's Roll to Cast.
ROLE.
Come discover a new world.
In a world where solid-state electronics and vacuum tubes are still meta, people never stopped loving atomic-powered everything. A chosen 500 stepped inside a subterranean vault to be spared the nuclear horror of the inevitable Great War. 25 years later, they emerge after the fallout settles to retake Appalachia. Among them, two former rivals whose blood feud will tear West Virginia apart in their epic struggle for survival. Chad, a vault bro who has a strength of 15, an intelligence of 2, and is a complete wasteland dickhead. Simon, a complicated anti-hero who chooses light and hope, but accidentally becomes a cannibal and wakes up naked and afraid with a Scorchbeast queen after a date goes terribly wrong. What? I mean, it's a wild wasteland, right? This dark humor radio drama will have you driving off the road and crawling out from under the fallout. 2 men, 1 wasteland, and so many nukes. Chad, a Fallout 76 podcast, rated R, now streaming on your holotape player podcasty thing.